Sorry, guys. Didn't run through my lines because I was asleep until 10 p.m. So honestly, didn't even know what was happening. But back to me, being the host, because I love center of attention. Donald Trump is back, and now he's pissed. Now this is serious, and I don't like to joke about this kind of thing. And
That's
you know,
the problem, Keegan.
Woo!
You don't joke. Now get off the show. It's me, the ghost of Christmas past. Back to host once again because Keegan is inadequate.
okay. Jesus Christ.
Now Donald Trump is back. And he's pissed! And not because Hot Pockets canceled their latest product, Hot Trump Semen Pockets. No longer will we be able to purchase Trump's searing hot semen sandwiched in frozen bread because, shockingly, not enough people were buying it. No, Trump is pissed because the press is coming after his favorite daughter, Saudi Arabia. Initially, Trump decided to take a stand for helpless Americans who are being juiced by Saudi Arabians every single day and take a stern approach to Saudi Arabia after the Khashoggi killing. But when he took a second look at the voluptuous body of his favorite daughter, Saudi Arabia, he pivoted hard. A hot mic even reportedly picked him up whispering, "Give me your oil, Daddy Salman." Just like his old campaign promise to be hard on international leaders. Very hard. Next week, Saudi Arabia's Prince Mohammed bin Salman will test just how much he can push Donald Trump around, and not just in the bedroom. First, the Crown Prince will use some of his billions of dollars he actually has to buy the Trump Tower and renovate it into a super mosque. At first, dumbfounded, with an emphasis on dumb. Trump will protest, but after yet another reminder about the magic juice under the Arabian deserts, Trump will back down. Next, the Crown Prince will aim to make President Trump the ultimate cuck by sleeping with Melania on live television. In fact, it's going to be the premiere of Fox's new show, Fox and Cucks. Trump will nearly choke to death, deep-throating a Big Mac. He would have been saved sooner if Mike Pence didn't hesitate to give him the Heimlich for so long on account of it being, quote, gay CPR. Immediately after he does save the president, however, Pence will resign his position as vice president and administer himself shock therapy. When asked his response, Trump will say in the video, it couldn't have been Melania because she was in bed with him at the time of its filming. Oh, come on, Trump. We know Melania hasn't slept in the same bed with you since they drained your semen for the Hot Pockets. Seeing that Trump almost cracked under the stress of his last prank, the Crown Prince will realize that family, yes, family, is how he can really get to Trump. If not through his wife, then maybe through his children. Upon realizing Ivanka's security is too tight, he'll settle for Eric. He'll lure him into the back of a van with a trail of Twizzlers, kidnap him and bury him neck up in the sands of Trump's beachfront resort, Mar-a-Lago. Trump will hear screams as the high tide rolls in, but be too busy being embroiled in a Twitter war with character actress Margot Martindale to help. However, instead of being upset at the death of his son, Odo from Deep Space Nine, it will only make him hornier in response to the Crown Prince dealing with his greatest mistake. In fact, he'll even write him a letter of thanks. In response, the Crown Prince will mail back a "You're welcome" letter, but without the properly affixed postage. This will be the final straw. You can make a cuck out of the president, but you can't make a cuck out of the United States Postal Service. Unless you're George H.W. Bush. Trump will declare war on Saudi Arabia, and within 3 days he will surrender. And not just in the bedroom. With America fully in Saudi Arabia's control, they'll be free to juice the hardworking Americans for the rest of time. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, now it's time to talk about their favorite holiday, Christmas. Ah, Christmas. What began as a pagan holiday centered around the winter solstice is now the most prominent example of American capitalism and consumerist culture. We here at Next Week Now sent our most trusted journalist to the heart of the issue, and now with us today to report his findings, the author of the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx, everybody.
Dankeschön. Thank you very much for having me on. Last week I ventured into the lion's nest, so to speak, when I made the harrowing journey up to Santa's workshop. I did this, you see, to uncover the truth about the evils of Western capitalism.
Yes, yes. It is to our understanding that you disguised yourself.
Indeed, I did. Upon arriving at the North Pole, I caught sight of a pack of reindeer. I hid behind a snowbank and made soft, sensual reindeer mating noises to lure one of the males away from the pack. And it worked. Prancer strayed from the safety of the group, and I took my opportunity to strike.
All right, does this have anything to do
I grabbed him by the horns and jerked his head like this, so that the carotid artery was exposed. From there it was easy. My Swiss Army knife penetrated his flesh like butter. After he stopped thrashing, I removed his horns and tied them upon my own head. That was to be my disguise during my expedition to Santa's workshop.
All right. Well, what did you see in his workshop?
Initially, I was struck by the little elf houses, all the same size and shape, for as far as the eye could see. And all of the elves were so warm. Granted, they thought I was Prancer, but regardless, I tried to purchase a warm sweater, since I was fairly cold after having stalked the reindeer out in the snow, and they just gave me one for free.
Oh, they gave you a sweater for free.
The North Pole has no formal currency, although sometimes the elves pay each other with laughter.
All right, go on.
Well, inside the factory, inside the workshop, all I could see was red. Red walls, red uniforms, workers working for a cause, not a profit. They were making toys for every little child in the world. And do you know why?
No, why?
Because children are the only people on Earth whose minds have not yet been polluted with capitalist lies. Santa's workshop is not a capitalist hellscape. It is a communist paradise.
Wow. That's really something. What happened next?
Well, upon catching sight of me, the elves were relieved. Apparently, Santa wanted to take the sleigh out for a joyride, and he had been looking for Prancer. Well, I was Prancer now. So I had no choice but to follow them out to the stables, where Santa Claus was waiting with all of the other reindeer. And when I saw that big, bearded man in a red suit, Ethan, let me tell you, I teared up a little bit.
Wait, Santa wanted to go for a joyride in his sleigh. Prancer was missing, and you're not a magic reindeer. How in the world did you maintain your disguise?
Well, you see, I didn't. The minute the elves left, Santa turned around and said to me, "I know you're not Prancer, you're an imposter." So I had no choice but to kill him.
Oh, you killed Santa.
I removed one of the horns from my head and impaled him with the pointy end. Do not worry, it was quick. And as I stared at his lifeless body in the snow, I realized we look very similar, no?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I did what any sane person would do. I took his clothing and donned the red suit, and then I buried him in a watery grave beneath the ice. From there, I returned to Santa's workshop, this time disguised as the man himself. All of the elves welcomed me home in a blaze of glory, showering me with praise and adoration. And I found my true calling. Communist dictator. I have done what I've been theorizing about for the past 200 years. I had seized the means of production.
Wow. That is enlightening. Well, what do you have to say to all the good little boys and girls who are out there patiently awaiting their gifts?
As I shimmy down your chimney, the proletariat will rise!
Well, thank you for that, Santa Marx. And now for Karl Marx's favorite part of capitalism, a commercial.